Oh yes, you are welcome back to African Colonization TV and Biafran history. So in today's topic, let's dive in. The origin of Igbo hatred in Nigeria. Why the North and Biafra can never be united and can never love themselves. So it has been a long time, this hatred, this nepotism, and this issue of we cannot love each other. You cannot be by my side has started. It is not something of today. And there is a cause, there is a reason why it happened. In this video today, you are going to hear everything from this video and directly from this our brother who explained a lot. He's an historian and he read a lot of things about this. So he explained a lot of things concerning things that happened and before the issue of Sodana of Sokoto. So the North, they have already taken oath that the Sultana of Sokoto, they must do everything possible to revenge the war. And what caused the war? And what caused the killing of the buying of Sultana of Sokoto? And in this video today, you are going to hear everything as it is, because a lot of stories have come up and go, and a lot of things have come up and go. And the reason why the Biafran war is being fought, why the Igbos declare the Biafra and say that enough is enough, that we must be on our own and that we must have our independence as a state. As the Nigerian states, they are not seeing them again as their own country. So we need to have our country as a state. So in this video, it is a lot. In fact, it's full of a lot of things to hear. So as you're about to watch, like, subscribe, and stick by and make sure you watch it to the end for you to understand everything going on in this video, because today's topic, it is very, very crucial. It is very nice for everyone to understand things that happen and the things that is going on in Nigeria.
Good day, my people. You're welcome to this very, very critical and important discussion. Now, one of the reasons why Nigeria will never be one, we pretend to be one. One of the reasons why we will never be one, it is the coup. What the British called the Igbo coup. They tagged it the Igbo coup, where leaders, both in the southwest and in the north, were killed. And because of these leaders being killed, there was a resentment, a hate for a particular tribe called the Igbo. Even though the Igbos did not really send Kaduna Nzogu and co to carry out that coup. Yes, since 1966, January 15th, today is January 15th, yes, 2026, it is 60 years that the North is remembering what happened to their leader. You see, the British have successfully created a template. I told you that this foundation cannot work. This foundation of resentment. We disagree. You killed my leader. I am Igbo. The problem of Nigeria are Igbo. The problem of Nigeria are Yoruba. That division, it is what the British, the colonial masters want, so that they can be able to rule you and take your resources. It is what they call divide and rule. Before the colonial masters came into this our space, we're not having boundaries. They had to make sure that they divided. They knew that if we were united, they could not conquer us. But they had to create something. And one of the deepest wounds in Nigeria's history is the 1966 killing of one of northern Nigeria's greatest statesmen, Ahmadu Bello. Now, I want to read something critical. Let me read something critical. Ahmadu Bello never wanted one Nigeria. I tell you, some people are angry that I'm saying Nigeria is not one. We need to restructure. Ahmadu Bello, at a point in time, never wanted one Nigeria. I want to read this remark. Let's look at this remark. Okay. Ahmadu Bello made a mistake in he said the mistake of 1914. Nigeria was a mistake of 1914, according to Sir Ahmadu Bello. He said this in 1953, reflecting his concern about the South's earlier educational and political advancement that would lead to Southern rule over the North. You know, Northerners, the Northern leaders then, well, seeing that the Southerners are more educated, the Southerners are advancing in different disciplines of life, why the North is like dragging back because of their system, even till today. So he never wanted a one Nigeria because he was afraid that the South will rule over the North. I tell you, he was afraid that the South will rule over the North. And the colonialists never wanted a divided Nigeria. They wanted a way whereby everybody will lump together. So any idea, anyone that will be pushing against their own conception of Nigeria, I told you that the conception of this Nigeria, what the Oyibo wants is for you to be fighting yourself. Look at us critically now. We literally hate ourselves. You see, we pretend that we like ourselves, but when it comes to politics and power, they'll now go and bring Igbos, Nyamiri. They'll now go and bring Yorubas. If you speak to, we have so many people having resentment against different tribes. If you speak to a Yoruba man, I spoke to one Yoruba man the other time. He said that the Igbos are the problem of Nigeria. You speak to another person, Igbo man, they'll say Fulani is the problem of Nigeria. You speak to some Yorubas are saying that Yorubas are the problem of Nigeria. This is the state the British want us to stay. They want us to be in this state and confuse ourselves. If we are not united, if there's nothing that is dividing us, if you are not working together, like you have a system, a car, the engine is not working, but the legs want to work. You cannot move. You cannot make progress. And Britain, they are willing. See, that's why anybody that wants to push for Pan-Africanism, liberation through liberation, is not all this independence. Anybody that wants to push for through independence, the West will make sure that they eliminate that person. Look at Patrice Lumumba. Take a look at Patrice Lumumba. Now, the match that was played by Congo, you saw that young man representing the statue, the gesture of Patrice Lumumba. You know an example. Look at Nnamdi Kanu wanted to push. Look at Sunday Igboho. They have to make sure that they box you and put you in a like you become irrelevant because they cannot influence a truly independent African country. Young soldiers woke up one morning, they wanted to purge the system. And most of them were Igbo. Like, according to some accounts, we had Yoruba and other tribes. You see, this argument will be arguing till tomorrow. Somebody has his own definition or his own story about the coup. Somebody has his own story. Adimu Legun, this person, there was the different tribes were represented. It was mainly Igbo. I want to read the comment section because it is highly tribalistic. It is highly tribalistic. I won't want to read comment section. The only thing I can say is that if we continue like this, we'll be destroyed as a people. Every one of us. If we do not look for a pathway to restructure ourselves, like whatever happened in the past, we cannot keep on dwelling in the past. Whatever happened in the past, the political leaders know what to do. And in a structured system, we can be able to make progress. But if we still continue, look at what people were saying. Let me just read some of the things. It may not be suitable for this broadcast. Let's look at what somebody says. Sir Aduna was killed by Major Chukwuma Nzogu, an Igbo soldier. Look at the tag, Igbo soldier. The British used their media propaganda and said it was an Igbo coup. And the Igbo coup, in quote, according to Britain. Who doesn't know Britain as one of the biggest propaganda, one of the countries that if they do propaganda here, you go run away. Look at all the leagues in the world. Look at the leagues in the world. Look at the Premier League. Look at La Liga. Look at our league in Nigeria. Which one has much more publicity, much more hype? Look at the La Liga. Who play football much more? You can see the British, they know how to hype. So with their hype, with their propaganda skills, they were saying, they just used the word Igbo coup. From there, they had to give a tribe a bad name. They gave them a bad mark. You saw the killings in northern Nigeria in retaliation to what happened. You see, the British will come and they will plant seeds of discord. They do not do this subtly. That's how they plant your food, GMO. They eliminate some of your naturals and start creating some things that you'll be consuming to destroy yourself. They do. Look at COVID-19. Some people had to take the vaccine. At the end of the day, there's many conspiracy theories about COVID-19. How they came and said, if COVID-19 want to wipe away the whole world, you must take vaccine. That's how they operate. The British came and they put a lot of division They planted a lot of hatred. Sir Adna said that the Igbos are taking over our work in the civil service. We have to stop this, because if we continue like this, they'll take over everything. They'll take over northern Nigeria. What we'll do is that we'll make sure that if a leader, if you have a foreman in a factory, is that we employ an expatriate. If we don't see an expatriate, if you don't see a capable northerner, we'll employ an expatriate. We'll not put a northerner under him, so that he can learn under the expatriate. That is what Northern Nigeria has been doing over the years. Look at our federal ministries. Most of the people that are getting employment at our federal parastatals, they are not qualified, really qualified for that job. In quote, they are not really qualified. But they'll put them so that they can learn on the job. That's how Northerners have been doing over the years. So the resentment was there. He was afraid of how the Southerners can just overnight, they'll take over the government. That is why when they were saying one Nigeria, they had to say, this one Nigeria you want us to agree to, let the key be in the hands of the Fulani. Let the rights to rule, like the ownership of this one Nigeria, let it be given to the Fulani. I listen to some people when they are saying a lot of things about Nigeria. They say the Naira means never allow Igbo rule again. I heard it from a lot of our Igbo brothers. Never allow Igbo rule again. Shore said it. It seems that there is a consensus amongst smaller tribes that do not allow the Igbo rule. So many things are wrong. And if we continue in this manner and way, see, we are not going to get... See, it's going to affect both the Igbos, both the Hausas, both the Fulani, both the Ijos, both the Kalabari, both the Ibibios, and the Yorubas. Everybody. We cannot... Are you shocked that from that 1966 till now, 60 years, we have not been able to tangibly, there's nothing we can boast of. There's nothing. There's nothing we can boast of. Is it light? Is it infrastructure? Is it healthcare? Ordinary water. We cannot provide for our citizens because we are here doing this one, Yoruba-led federal government. That one, Fulani-led federal government. Igbos, if we give Igbos allowance to rule, they will do this one too. They will send Nigeria. We cannot allow this one. This one are minority. That one are minority. A lot of things are happening. And people that love this country should know that it is only restructuring that is going to get us the development, because we cannot stay like this. We are backward. We are backward. We cannot. We need to meet up. We are called the giant of Africa. Imagine a giant of Africa that is not self-sufficient when it comes to some basic things. It does not produce for itself. Okay, Nigeria produces a lot of things. We produce cars. We go and carry somebody else's technology. We pack them. We bring them inside Nigeria. We carry Oyibo expatriates that got the education in their country. They come and they handle this factory for us. We just have to work some menial jobs, some little jobs. The people that handle the engineering of the system are not Nigerians. And you say, we produce now, we produce car, we produce motor. Look at Dangote refinery. It is expatriates that really run that refinery, because our Nigerian engineers are not trusted enough to handle such projects. 60 years down the line, we have not been able to measure. Most of our brains are going out of the country. Most of our doctors are leaving the rural areas. Our healthcare sector is failing and dying. Even the herbalists, they are even coming up. The herbalists are coming up with so many herbs. You take this and take that. Our healthcare sector is dying. Most people are leaving the country because of this thing planted by the British that we hate ourselves. I just talked about Northern Nigeria saying that Tinubu may be Nigeria's last president. You see, the resentment and hatred. And the West are looking at it critically. They are interested in your election. Don't think that, oh, it has gone now. It is ourselves. We should blame ourselves. Jonathan came out and told us that the United States, they were involved in his election loss. Obama and co, they connived with some elements and created a system. I don't want to say this one. Let me not say this one. And created a party, and that party was used to remove a sitting president. And you sit down like this, say, how possible is that now? How possible is this now? Look at what happened in Venezuela. If not for Russia and China, because of their status in the world, don't you think that America would have taking them out. Not to talk of you. They are interested in the system. If Tinubu is not cooperating in a way with the West, with US, with Israel, with United States, if the President Bola Tinubu is not cooperating with them, do you think that his leg will not go to shake by now? Do you think that the US will have not instigated a lot of confusion in his governance, in the government? You are hearing of $9 million lobby up and down, lobby up and down. They're interested. Anytime a government exists in Nigeria that they say we want to be really independent of any foreign influence, we want to rework our foreign policy, we want to restructure our foreign policy, we can align with anybody at any point in time. Now that you know, say some people that they direct the affairs of Nigeria. Anytime Tinubu says now Nigeria is free to align with anybody, whether China, whether US, we have a choice. We are independent now. We have a choice to align with anybody. Now time you say Trump, but they remember say, I think there's a report about this president, a drug report. We need to take action. We need to make sure we bring it down. The drug they are bringing into they have brought drugs into the US and it has destroyed America. They will look for one excuse. Now time you say the idea on the eye for America to remain in this state. That is their plan. Now the country is fighting for Biafra. I told some people, you are fighting for Biafra and you are waiting for US, America to give you Biafra. You are waiting for Finland to give you Biafra. So this, usually, you know those people now. This small boy, what do you know? Come on here, what do you know? What is happening now? God helps Samanekpa that after he finishes his jail term, he's not brought into Nigeria. They don't negotiate his coming to Nigeria, which is like 70% likely. I told some people that they have arrested Samanekpa. He says it's a lie. They cannot arrest her. They cannot arrest. Finland cannot arrest. From Finland cannot arrest Samanekpa. We heard that they arrest him. They say he's not in prison. He's coming from his house. He's going from his house to the court. From his house to the court. Somebody that is in court. Like he's in the custody of the government. He's coming from his house, not in court. Somebody that the allegations of terrorism, sponsoring terrorism, they will leave him to come from house. I've been saying this. Now the Britain, they have succeeded in giving us a deep wound that will never allow us genuinely work together as a people, even when we really have good intentions. Some elements, you see, let's imagine we forget the Civil War. Because there's no how. If you remember the past and we make adjustment, let's imagine we make adjustment. We apologize for whatever Kaduna and Zongo and Co did. They did not consult the Nigerian people. Most of these leaders, you see that they just acted in their capacity just because they have an Igbo name and they have a little following. They will not say this man represents the Igbo people. Most of the things that our leaders do, they don't do the intention. Like in the Southeast now, if you do your referendum in the Southeast, most Southeasterners, they want Biafra. But most of the political leaders don't want Biafra. So you are going to say your political leaders, they just use them to cover. The people are not in sync with the political leaders in the Southeast. The same way some of these people in the past did all what they did. Although we have, every tribe has their flaws. Every tribe has their flaws. Babangida wrote in his book, he said something, that coup initially was not an Igbo coup, but somehow it metamorphosed into something else entirely. According to Babangida in his book, it was not an Igbo coup initially, but somehow it turned into, there was much argument about that. So for an Igbo man to rule Nigeria because his brother killed his Sadna of Sokoto, that is the mentality you are running. So the Igbo man is locked in an everlasting hatred or fight with the Fulani, all because, you see, not that they are genuinely saying such because they want the betterment of the country, it's because of political power. Politicians can use any means, through any means, Mamagumago, left, right, center, use them, lobby for power. To keep the Igbos out of power, everybody always remembers what happened in 1990. As if the person that is going to be president, maybe Peter B is going to be president. I've seen a lot of handles, a lot of people from the Yoruba tribe, from the Fulani tribe. I've not really seen Hausa people saying, Peter B, Igbo, must never be president. Must never be president. Okay. Okay, now let's look at, I want to look at reactions. I saw some very, very, Adefu Miloro, he put out a statement here. I want to read his statement. He said, Igbo will never know peace. Their generation to generation will continue to suffer rejections and isolation coupled with psychiatric meltdown. You can see, this is a Yoruba person. We see it a lot. Like, even an Igbo person. Igbos, see, when they sow this seed, the person that put out this post is somebody that worked under Buhari and Fulani, and that's, they know how they can really, they think that the northern Nigeria have every right to rule because they were offended by a coup. Babangida wrote and said, the corruption then, most of these young officers were instigated by some elements to carry out that action. The elements have not kept quiet because they were used to carry out that coup. And somehow, the ethnicity that came in the whole thing. I know the Igbos have a lot of flaws. Igbos have a lot of flaws, I must admit. But if we want to work with, if we want to see development for ourselves, we that we are Nigerians, some of these people that are writing all these things, stocking old wounds, some of them are ordinary Nigerians. The politicians are there, they will be making their money. It does not stop an Igbo man from not even holding a position in the federal level, at least one high position. Whether it's sixth or whether it's third, at a point in time, the policy will be played. It is the elite that will be benefiting from our resources, using all these little things to just scatter us so that they can be there. They have their memorandum of understanding. They have how they can be. They can, look, hey. Those who attempted and successfully plunged Nigeria into chaos are the ones crying about marginalization today. You can see the comment, the conversation we're having as Nigerians. We have not really left that past. The past is still with us. And that's why we will never forge ahead as a country. So when I push for restructuring, it is going to heal a lot of wounds. I'm telling you. But since some people don't want, see, irrespective of the fact that we have some people that have the notion that they support Nzog, what he did, or it's an Igbo coup. There are some people that are still sensible to know that we cannot continue like this. I know you are watching this broadcast. In his comment section, what do you think about what I just said? This is like 60 years when Soudan of Sokoto was killed. We know that these people were pushing a northern agenda. Me, I know that one. I don't even talk about the northern agenda. How Christians were being persecuted in Kaduna, yeah, because he stayed more in Kaduna. How they plan to, like, the northerners should dominate. It's about not, they really didn't agree to this one Nigeria thing. It is our brother. He wants to know, like, as if he knows past everybody. He wants to claim he's the Zik of Africa. People are talking different stories. I wish there was social media then. You see, so many truths are not being said. People have just saying their sentimental side of the story. This one say my own story. That one say people reading different versions of the war, and some people just stick to one because of sentiment, whether tribal or religious sentiment or regional sentiment. Because as an Igbo person, I will not, even though I know that maybe something happened, the Igbo is wrong, but because I'm Igbo, I don't want to be, they should be attacking us. I just sentimentally, okay, the Igbos are not totally wrong. I just be playing that kind of, that's how it is in Nigeria. Most of our stories are not really, like, factual. The arguments don't be here. On Aburi Accord, you see the argument, Aburi, you supposed to do this one. Gowan will come this year and say, the powers to sign that Aburi was beyond me. Hey, I was having headache. I could not sign the Aburi. It is a lie. We had to come back and review the Aburi. You see, so many versions of the story. So many versions. This is what is making Nigeria, these particular stories of the past, it was making Nigeria will never be one. Anybody that's preaching one Nigeria, he's preaching it for his own selfish interest. He's a politician. He has access to the power, the political power. They have agreed with some elements, some people. That's why the North, they are very angry when the South are being populated in the military. Because they have used all these sentimental whatever They use it to hold on to political power. Una offend us, so we supposed rule Nigeria. We go rule Nigeria. Una offend us. We are ruling this country because people offend us. No Igbo will rule Nigeria. They use that one to exclude some people. We have the numbers. No Igbo will rule Nigeria. We will not turn us. You quit our forefathers. They are using that. They want to, you know that sense now. That's what they want to use. They want to use it to let hold on to political power.
Oh yes, he have made his point, and he have speak the part where he understand. In this system of Nigeria of 18, it is something that you cannot even tell how it is going. Truly and truly to be told, Nigeria supposed not to be one. Nigeria, the way it is, it's supposed not to be a one country. But because of the selfish interest of the British colonists, because of their hatred, and because they hate Africa, they did not love Africa in one day. They want Africa to be fighting every day, and they want Africa to be undeveloped every day. Because whenever they see that an African man is trying to wake up, the next thing they will trap him down. Because Africa is a place where they get all the mineral resources they are using to build their plane, their bomb, their everything is in Africa. So whenever Africa understand all those things and start understanding their logics, then the whites, they will be aside, they will put aside, and they don't want it to be happening. And as you can see, the issue concerning them and Ibrahim Traore, how Ibrahim Traore has been chasing them, fighting them, and they're doing all manner of things to make sure that he stop the whites not to be entering into his country. That is how it is. So in Africa, mostly in Nigeria, the worst people that even bundles Nigeria to this extent, that even ties Nigeria, and that even finally kill everything to this extent, it is the wicked politician, those who comes in with that hatred, with that evil demonic mind, just to make everybody suffer in the name of, yes, I will retaliate because of this or because of that. At the end, Nigeria is supposed to, everybody, how can a countries, they call it a country because Nigeria is a country is a one country that full of many countries. So how can you join countries in together just because of your evil agenda? And that is the main problem of this country. So the whole best and the whole thing there is for the country to sit down and call for referendum. Those who want to be, and those who want to separate from this bondage should separate. Let us know the people called Nigeria. Let us know the people called Arewa. And let us know the people called Biafra. So that let everyone go each separate ways and develop the way you want. But if it is about this every day, now and then, people will keep buying and people will keep complaining every time. I say thank you for watching. As you're watching, like, subscribe, and make sure you share the video to go around. Let others learn and understand things happening in the country.